Hello and welcome everybody. This is Amanda Rose, your Director of Media Marketing from Archer Travel Service. Today we are so happy to welcome Tim from RoomRes. This is for our Australia-based agents. How are you doing today, Tim? And we love your setup. It is really professional. One of the best setups I'd say we've ever had for Australia. And just before we get started, I wanted to let everyone know if you have questions for Tim about RoomRes, please put those in chat and we will save that for Q&A at the end. And if you'd like to rewatch this video, you can find it right here in the videos tab of this channel. And without further ado, Tim, we're really excited to see what you have to present today, so we'll let you get started. Thanks again for joining us.
On email or on phone. Obviously, that's an Australian number. So RoomRes, our platform overall. So 100,000 hotels globally in the network, transfers, car hire, activities in the city, also multi-day activities, so what we call multi-day trips, which we'll run through. And there's a fantastic loyalty program as well in RoomRes. So that's a platform overview. For today's session, I'm going to spend some time on finding value in the market, which is our core product or core value that we bring to agents here in Australia. We'll do a platform demonstration. I'm going to talk about one of our new features, which is Book Now, Pay Later. I'm going to make mention to our reward system and an incentive which launched just this Monday. A quick chat about some existing features and marketing tools on the site, and also our multi-day tours. So 6 items there to run through. We'll try and keep it around the 20-minute mark. Okay, so finding value in the market. So the core purpose of RoomRes, to us, it remains the same. We're a platform that delivers best value in the market for you when you're searching a hotel product for your clients, as well as multi-day tours, attractions, and transfers. But primarily, we bring forward the best available net rates for when you're doing your hotel city searches, cities or regional areas. So whether it's brand name hotels, boutique hotels, worldwide destinations, there's fantastic net rates that are available that we bring forward to you. From that point, you can then name your own price. We give you a combination of the online price and the net price, which I'll show you in the next slide. So here's a quick little screenshot of a hotel search for London. As you can see, we have our best available net rate, the one that's highlighted, and then below that, the online rate. When we do our search results, we prioritize the order of the hotels based on the difference between those two rates. So with this quick little example, we can see the first property, it's got almost 50% difference between the net rate and the online rate. And then it's over to you as the selling agent to determine what price that's going to be. So I'm going to run through a platform demonstration just to further emphasize that and explain that. So I'm just going to switch my view. Okay. And my camera has zoomed out, so let's see if we can fix that. Okay, so we should all see here RoomRes. I'm logged into the demonstration mode for Archer Travel. If I want to do that hotel search for London, then I'm just going to come into here, transfers, so into hotels, and we're going to go London. We give you some options there, but let's just go to the first one. You can do your dates as far forward as you need, depending on the traveller's requirements. Here we've got rooms. If you've got 2 adults and 2 kids, just hit that 2 and 2, or if it's just 2 adults, then just clear that away. You can also add multiple rooms as well, but in this search, I'm just going to do 2 adults, 1 room, and search. And then this loading is our site finding best available options in the market. We have 11 different suppliers that we search, which is a combination of in-market DMC rates, corporate net rates, a number of combination of available options. Then here on the left, we give you a number of different filters. So I'm just going to go 4-star because I know my clients need 4-star. If I know my clients need to be in a certain neighbourhood, we can go ahead and select that. And then we've got our available options. If you need to see a map of where it is, just use that map feature and you can zoom in, zoom out on that. I'm just going to go back to the list. And here we can see our Archer's net rate and then the online rate. So that online rate is what you and also the customer will see if they're doing their own research, whether it's through one of the other booking platforms which are commonly available online or the hotel directly. So I'm going to click into to select a property. This one looks nice, the Merritt Kingston Hotel. We'll click in. When we're clicking in, we're going to now see all the available options and information about that property. So as I scroll down, we've got the map again. We've got all the information about the property. If you know that your customers need parking or if they need a specific service, all of that will be here in the amenities and details. And then we have our available rates. So one thing that is new to our site, so if any of our Archer team that are on today who have used us last year or January of this year, these new filters are available. And also we have this option here, which is called Pay Later. So Book Now, Pay Later is a brand new feature that we launched on the site, where if your passengers are traveling in 6 months' time, then I can select this option and I can hold this room. And you can see here it says pay later in 129 days, which is about 30 days before the travel date. So the Book Now, Pay Later offers greater flexibility when you're working with your client. That way, if they're doing a grand European tour, that usually they have to pay the flights now and then they might need to pay a 10% deposit and everything else at a later point. That flexibility is now available through RoomRes, where previously we could only hold a reservation without payment for 7 days. So Book Now, Pay Later has completely changed that. Reservations can be held without a deposit for 100 days plus. So I'm going to deselect those filters. You can see that we have a combination of non-refundable and fully cancellation conditions with this property. Sometimes it's just all non-refundable or other times it's all fully flexible. But the great thing of our site is it brings forward all that rates. That way you can choose to sell one or the other or sell both if you know your clients want to see all that information. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick this one, bed and breakfast, 139. Keep in mind that's the net rate, and we'll book. And now we're in the booking stage. I'm just going to press this button to add in some default text and proceed. and then we are now ready to book. So another thing that I like to show in these demonstrations is if we are doing a multi-city destination, then we can just go ahead and select this button, which is add another product. So we'll add another product, and passengers might be going to Paris. So we just drop in Paris, drop in the dates. And search, and then we're adding in a new city. So you can do complex itineraries on RoomRes. You can just do single city stays, whatever the booking scenario is. As I'm building the itineraries up, you'll notice here it says, it gives me a itinerary reference. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. And I'm going to jump here into my itineraries. So earlier this morning, I created an itinerary, which is, I'm just going to view this itinerary here. So this is an itinerary where we've got transfers, that Merit Kingston Hotel, 2 guests. I've done a city activity, which is a river pass on the River Thames. Not a bad deal for $86. Transfers back to Heathrow, and then the passengers are down into Nice in the south of France. So you can do multiple cities all within the one itinerary. With this reservation, I placed it all on hold. Now, if I scroll to the top, you will notice here it says this is a draft itinerary. So a draft itinerary is not yet held. If I wish to confirm this for my customer, I can scroll down here to the bottom. I can pay it in full, or on this booking scenario, I can book now and pay this one later in 14 days and confirm. And now we have a live held reservation based on that 14-day payment option that I selected in the previous page. If I had selected one of those, pay this in 120 days, then it would say, book now, pay later in 120 days. Okay, so now we have a held reservation, and it will appear here in our reservations and sales report. Another thing that I like to run through during these demonstrations, if I click here to my customer quotes, we'll talk about this in one of the later slides, but while we're here, any itinerary that you have built, I'll actually show you the process. So if I click here into my itineraries, view itinerary, we have options for creating a customer quote. Here, and if once we create the customer quote, if I see here open URL, we can quickly turn an itinerary into a quote. That's actually the wrong one. That doesn't include London. Let me go to this one and open. One more time. Okay. So this one has our London hotel, our river pass, our hotel in Nice, hotel in Rome, an extended tour in Naples and Sorrento. We can zoom out on this. You can see it has all those destinations, and then the transfers. And this customer quote can be produced relatively quickly from the booking shell or the itinerary for you to send to your clients. So a really excellent tool if you want to quickly send out a price. You'll notice here we have the total price for this itinerary, and each item is itemized. Now you as the agent, when you're building these quotes, you can hide the price or you can show the price. It's up to you. Okay, so that's a bit of a demonstration of RoomRes. The most important thing, though, is the difference between those net rates and hotel rates, which I'll just refresh one more time. So as our site is delivering net rates to you, it's up to you how you wish to use those prices. Once our search loads. So in this example, St James in London, the online rate that your customer will most likely see, $614 per night. The bookable rate for you, $339. It's up to you. Do you want to sell that at $500? Do you want to sell that at $614? Or do you just want to put 10% on and tell your customer that you found them a fantastic deal? That pricing is up to you, and that's the key element of why lots of agents here in Australia love booking on RoomRes. So keep an eye out for those fantastic rate differences as you're building your itineraries. I'll now switch back to our slide. Okay, so we've done our platform demonstration. So the new feature, Book Now, Pay Later, just a quick overview of that. So as I said, Book Now, Pay Later, when you're doing your hotel price and you get into the hotel rates page, in pink, we show you those, book now, pay later in 120 days or 130 days, or if the departure date was only 60 days away, it would say pay later in 40 days. It's just dynamic depending on the departure date. On top of that, we also bring forward the non-refundable and instant purchase rates as well, giving you control over which price you quote to your client. Book Now, Pay Later applies to about 80% of the hotels that we have in the system. So it's not on everything, but it's on almost everything. It was quite a big project for our tech team to deliver this onto the site. So yeah, do make full use of it. It's a fantastic new feature of RoomRes. Quite different to what we had last year. When you do use the Book Now, Pay Later, just make sure that when you're holding your reservation, you select that option on the right. Cancellation conditions, they remain unchanged. So if you use the Book Now, Pay Later, just take note of the cancellation conditions. It doesn't matter when you make payment, the cancellation conditions still apply. So if it is a refundable rate and you have paid, you can still process that refund regardless of whether you use the Book Now, Pay Later or not. Booking management, Book Now, Pay Later, in the reservations and sales report, you can filter to quickly see all of your unpaid reservations. So that's still a relatively easy and quick process. Okay, so RoomRes rewards and incentives for this year. As always, we have our RoomRes rewards that for every booking you make, you will generate points. If you click the little rewards button next to your name when you log in, it will tell you how many points you have available to spend and how many points you have pending. Pending points is simply just if the passengers haven't travelled yet, then they sit as pending. Once the travel date has occurred, they then transfer over to points that you can spend. Those points you can spend on your own travel, or if you wish to provide a $50 discount to your client or claim $50 extra commission towards a booking, you can use it towards a booking as well. It doesn't have to be you, the passenger. It can be a family friend. It can be one of your customers, whichever you like. On the bottom right corner, there's a little question mark. When you log in, if you click that button and then click the promotions button, you'll see some more information about our latest promotion, which is RoomRes Island. So last year we took a bunch of our agents to the Gold Coast for a treasure hunt. This year we're going to RoomRes Island, which is up in the Whitsundays. So it's a great incentive. So we're going to have a number of agents up there having a treasure hunt experience. If you hit that promotions link, you'll find out more information. Together with the RoomRes Island, there's also extra RoomRes points that you can earn during the promotion period. So for everyone, for the next 6 weeks, everyone's getting a bonus coupled together with this incentive. So that runs from now through to the 31st of March. Okay, RoomRes features and marketing tools. So there's lots of features on the site which help you. They're all time-saving tools to help you build packages for your customers, quickly sell quotes, and quickly manage your bookings. So I've just thrown a few in there to name a few. So we have a template builder, we have a customer quote builder, which I quickly showed you. There's a booking duplicator. So if you've sent a passenger going from, I don't know, Los Angeles to Vegas and then down to San Diego, and then you have another group that wishes to do a similar tour, you can click into RoomRes, do a booking duplicator, and it will duplicate that itinerary. You can change passengers and change dates. So pretty good time-saving tool. If you have any questions on all of those tools, you can come in again, hit that question mark, right-hand bottom corner of when you logged in. We have a training hub, and the training hub has links to those features. So custom itinerary, customer quotes, multi-day tours, the few things that I've already mentioned. Also, you can email me and we can set up a session to do some extra training, either on a Zoom call or over the phone. So there's my email there, which I'll show at the end as well. Okay, last item on our list, multi-day tours. Multi-day tours we launched last year. It's gathering momentum into the bookings for Europe for this year and kind of end of year trips as well. So multi-day tours are in 32 countries. So there's the list there. So Asia, Europe, Africa, and Central South America. Multi-day tours are operated by TUI. So TUI is one of the largest tourism companies in the world. They're actually the largest in Europe. The tours are small group tours, self-drive itineraries, private tours, and group tours. From these tours, again, it's all net pricing, and we generally see agents will have a 12 to 15% commission margin on those tours. They're unique tours that are not partnered up with Trafalgar Tours or Globus Tours or other commonly booked companies here in Australia. They're solely run by TUI, so not through a third-party distributor. Tours are starting from 3 days all the way up through to 21 days. I'll show you where they live on the site, and I'll show you how they look. Okay, everyone should see my screen again. So if I click here to my home page, and we have hotels, transfers, attractions being single attractions in the city, car hire, but then here on the right we have tours. So here are the multi-day tours, and if I click into here, we need to pick a destination. Let's go Croatia, somewhere that I've never been before, but certainly on my list, and select, and RoomRes will do the search. All of the tours that you see here are guaranteed departure. So nothing goes off from request, which is a great feature. You've got your filters, so you can filter if it's a self-drive, a city break. I want to find something that starts in this location. Those two. And we can scroll through. So there's a Croatia island hopping. I'm looking for this one. So Split and Zagreb private tour. Click into here. And this is the tour is a quick thing that you can easily send to your client as an itinerary. So you can see all of the green dates, they're available and ready to go. Some of our tours start on a Sunday and finish on a Saturday. So when you see this calendar, if anything's red, it just means that it doesn't operate on that day. So here we have our list of inclusions and inclusions. If I want to quickly turn this into a quote for my passenger, then I can just hit that book button. Throw some names in. And proceed. And you can see here at the top, we have this create customer quote. If I click that button, then RoomRes is going to ask you to fill in some of this information. I'll leave it all as a default setting. Actually, we'll make sure we do the price. So here it says, would you like to include the price? Let's hit yes. This is the net price. So you would need to add on your 15%, which I'm going to take a guess that would be about right. And generate. And if I can now copy this URL and send to my client on email or as a text message. And this is how it would look. So total price and all of the itineraries here. This takes a matter of minutes, and you've quickly sent them a suggestion for their trip. Any quote that is sent out by you, your end customer, they have the option to hit this I like it button. With the I like it button, they would put their name and their email in, and when they hit send, that message comes back to you. It's not a booking option, it's just an interaction point for them to tell you that they're definitely keen on this item. When you create a quote, if you click here to your itineraries for itineraries and quotes are here, you can see this created quote now lives up here, and you can see here it says customer interaction. So RoomRes will give you a count of how many times that has been viewed, and if you hit that little Facebook icon, it generates a Facebook. Something that you can quickly share to your Facebook account. Okay, so that's tours, a great new feature that we launched last year and gathering momentum for this year. But do have a look at all the destinations. What's most popular is if your passengers are flying in for a cruise and they've got 4 days before the cruise starts or after the cruise is finished. There's some really good pre or post cruise activities in Italy, for example, or in Spain. There's some good ones for Singapore. So do have a look. We'll now click back to the presentation. So that's the presentation wrapped up. Amanda, I'll throw it open to you for Q&A.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Tim. That was a great presentation. So someone had a question that I just sort of wanted to ask this one first because it had to do with what you were just doing. When doing the customer quote, they're asking, are you able to change the pricing from net to how much commission they would want?
Definitely. I'll show you that. So if everyone can see my screen. So here's my customer quote that I built earlier today. Edit. So when you're building a customer quote, just if you've already built it, just hit that edit button and you can say, we ask you a number of yes/no questions. So here it says, would you like to display the price, yes or no? Then the next option underneath that, it says, would you like to add price for each element? And you can say yes or no. So I think the answer to your question is just make sure that you are displaying the price. And by default, the RoomRes site will tell the agent this is the net total of the current package. And when you hit the yes button, it's then an open field for them to write in the price.
Perfect.
So it's their opportunity to do a quick calculation. You know, if the total was 1,200 net, then plus 12%, the 1,280, and they would write that in. If you're using the would you like to have a price for each element, then it's the same thing. So the net price for this product is here. So I would go, quick calculation to 80. This one make it 17.25, and this one let's go 13.45. And you'll notice that this is automatically updated. This one, these are tours. This product has tours. Sorry, transfers. And 95 and 95, and now that's all updated. So definitely, yes, they can determine if it's just a total package or price out each element.
Perfect. And someone asked, is that how much the client's credit card would be charged, is however much they put in the quote there?
So the quoting is not a booking feature, it's purely just a marketing feature.
Mm-hmm.
So the quoted package doesn't then correlate to the actual booking. With RoomRes, we don't take clients' credit card directly. So in that scenario that your customer's asking about, they would run the customer's credit card through their own merchant terminal or however they do their transactions, because RoomRes just charges the net price to the agent.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So yeah, the answer is no, RoomRes doesn't take the client's card directly for packages like this. So the customer would do that transaction outside of RoomRes.
And then oh, sorry, go ahead.
There are some bookings, hotel bookings, where you can choose the commissionable rate if you want to put the customer's credit card directly through RoomRes. However, that's hotel only, and generally when you're choosing that gross gross rate on customers' credit cards, quite often you're missing out on the best available net rate. So it's a bit of a decision to be made on how you want to transact with that customer.
Perfect. And then when doing the quote for a customer, how long do we have before we have to pay? Someone else.
Just ask me that one more time, sorry.
When doing a quote for a customer, how long do we have before we have to pay?
Sure. Good question. When you're building the itinerary, it will tell you, this quote is based on the book now, pay later, and it will highlight. So if I hit here, view itinerary, and scroll down, you can see this one. For this particular package, I don't need to pay until 150 days. It's really just driven by the elements that you've booked. So in a package, if you've booked something that requires payment in 20 days, then payment is due in 20 days. So yeah, it's really driven by the individual elements that have been selected.
Perfect. Are we able to use the images shown to send to our clients? I think they meant the images like of hotels and stuff.
Yes, yeah. So when you're using the customer quote feature, so let me find. So this one is hotels. So this is the end version of what the customer sees, and your customer on their phone or on their desktop, they can view this property. They can hit that button here, and it automatically pulls through the images. So there's when you use that customer quote feature, yeah, definitely the images are free and available for you to be included in the quote. Any images that are served on the site, if your Archer agents want to copy and paste, then by all means, but that would be a slow way of doing it. Yeah, so when the customer quote feature, all of the images automatically come in. Amanda, sorry, we're there.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. My bad. The next question is, when doing the Facebook share, is the total amount included?
Yes, if the quote has been set up with a total price, then yes, that would be shown. The agents have the choice to show the price or not show the price. It's up to you to make that selection. As a general rule, so you can see in this example, we have the travel dates. Another feature of the quotes is that you can not show the travel dates, or you can hide the passenger name. So you can have a generic itinerary, no price, no dates, no passenger names. That way you can just send it out on your social media channels and say, hey, this is something I did last year. If you're interested, let me know and we can have a chat about dates and prices. So it's really up to the agent to choose how much information is included in the quote.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Tim. We really appreciate you doing this webinar for our Australia-based agents and teaching us all about RoomRez and what it has to offer. That was the last question today. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we close out this webinar?
I always like to talk about our fantastic contact center. So when you're logged into RoomRez, if you just click that contact button, if you have any questions about a particular property, for example, if you have any wheelchair passengers, if you have any bedding questions, or if there's just a mismatch of information, you want to double check something, hold in the hotel, for example, put it on one of those reservations on hold, and then email our support team with the booking number and your question, and our support team will get back to you relatively quickly. All of our support is managed in-house. We have a team here in Sydney, and we have a team over in Tampa, Florida, who look after the US. So you're either going to get a response from our Sydney team or from our Florida team, depending on the time of the day. So yeah, email in with any questions. When you're in a reservation, you can see here we have special requests. So if I hit that edit button, so if you have any honeymooners or people, maybe they want to be on the first floor because they're not very good with heights, you can put those special request notes in there. Special request is always just on guarantee. Sorry, is not guaranteed. It's just on request, but we will happily pass that information through to the end supplier, and it actually shows up on the voucher. So yeah, put your special requests in. If there's any questions you have, hold the reservation, email us, and our team will respond.
Well, amazing. Well, thank you so much, Tim. And thank you all Australian agents for joining us today. We really appreciate everyone. And if you would like to review this video, you can watch it right here, which I suggest you do because Tim did a great job going through the website portal and everything for you. You can find it right here in the videos tab of this page. Well, thank you again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful morning. Thank you so much, Tim.
My pleasure. Thanks, then. Have a good day, everyone.